President Donald Trump and Elon Musk make some major announcements as they go to shut down several government bureaus. I'll give you the details here on this. Also, some problems in the Middle East. I'll also let you hear from President Donald Trump as he makes some major announcements. All that here in this video. Yeah, a lot going on here. Let me know if you can see and hear me as we are live right now. Type yes in the chat if you can. Let me know where you're tuning in from. You can let me know your city, state, or even your country, as we have people tuning in here from all around the globe. Don't forget to smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Take a look here. We'll start with this one. Okay, first up, Elon Musk tweets at the Doge team, Department of Government Efficiency, just discovered that FEMA sent $59 million last week alone to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal migrants. Sending this money violated the law and is in gross insubordination to the president's executive order. That money is meant for American disaster relief and is instead being spent on high-end hotels for illegals. A clawback demand will be made today to recoup those funds. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. I don't know if we've seen the actual proof of this, but this is what Elon Musk is saying, and this is just last week alone, which would be, a lot of money as Elon Musk and the Doge team goes to find, waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, which they have been finding a lot of. And honestly, this is, I think we all know that there is a lot of overspending, abuse, waste, and fraud. I'll be doing another video on this here next in Social Security, so stay tuned for that. So this is just wild that what they're finding here, what they're telling us about. Also, members of Congress denied access to the Department of Education, as there's some reports that they're shutting down the Department of Education. Multiple members of Congress were denied entry to the Department of Education over the weekend, according to videos and social media platform from lawmakers. Quote, they're blocking members of Congress from entering the Department of Education. Elon is allowed in and not the people. Quote, illegal, says a representative from Florida, said in a post on the social media platform X, referring to Elon Musk and the world's richest person, the head of the Department of Government Efficiency. The incident comes amid rising temperatures over the Trump administration's effort to shut down the Department of Education completely. By the way, you can also follow me on Twitter, X, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. I'll put a link down below in the description for you and the pinned comment as well. This also comes here, especially if they shut down the entire Department of Education. At least 10 student loan and federal aid programs run by the Department of Education may be cut, and potentially all of them. If they shut down the Department of Education, there could be a lot of money that goes to people and students and, all those different, federal student loan programs, student aid programs could completely be shut down if that happens. So, I'll keep you up to date on that. Obviously, a lot of different opinions on this type of stuff. You guys can let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section. Trump administration orders Consumer Finance Protection Bureau agency to stop work and closes the building. Now, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau is another one that the Trump administration is looking to shut down. This was set up by, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and, some mixed thought on this, but this is an agency that is there to literally Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. An agency that was created to protect consumers after the 2008 financial crisis and subprime mortgage crisis. you guys can let me know your thoughts on this. This is there to regulate banks and has provided billions of dollars in refunds to consumers after, banks' excessive fees, credit card excessive fees. The agency has been a target of conservatives since President Barack Obama pushed to include it in the 2010 financial reform that followed after the 2008 financial crisis. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. I'm not too sure about this one. I think that this one's there to protect the people from banks, and credit card companies trying to, really overreach on us. You guys can, let us know your thoughts on this. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau said it's obtained nearly $20 billion in financial relief for U.S. consumers since its founding in the form of canceled debts, compensation, and reduced loans. Last month, the Bureau sued Capital One for allegedly misleading consumers about its offerings for high-interest savings accounts and cheating customers out of more than $2 billion in lost interest payments as a result. This was just last month alone. So, again, let me know your thoughts here in the comment. I'm just reporting you guys what is going on. Trump says the Palestinians would not be allowed back into Gaza underneath his plan. That they would not be allowed back into Gaza underneath his plan. Here's what President Trump has to say directly from him. Take a listen here.
We'll build beautiful communities for the 1.9 million people. We'll build beautiful communities, safe communities. Could be 5, 6, could be 2, but we'll build safe communities a little bit away from where they are, where all of this danger is. In the meantime, I would own this. Think of it as a real estate development for the future. It would be a beautiful piece of land.
Would the Palestinians have the right to return?
No, they wouldn't, because they're going to have much better housing, much better. In other words, I'm talking about building a permanent place for them. Because if they have to return now, it'll be years before you could ever. It's not habitable. It will be years before it could happen. I'm talking about starting to build, and I think I could make a deal with Jordan. I think I could make a deal with Egypt. We give them billions and billions of dollars a year.
What is interesting is the part where he says, they would not have the right to return to their land. The question is, where would they go? Would those other countries come in and say, okay, they can live here? Would it be permanent? It sounds like that is part of the deal. The president does say, and I'll give you one more little snippet, he says we give those countries hundreds of billions of dollars, in which case it's kind of like, okay, we're helping you out. You help us out.
Yeah, that's right.
How about the world?
So the interview is split into 2 parts, one for the Super Bowl, and then Brett Baer is going to have much more with the president that's going to air on his show today. But that part about the Gaza Strip and what the president intends to do with it is a major newsmaker, and it's his offering to the world. He's saying there are no better options. It's going to take 10 to 15 years to rebuild this rubble. This is what I think should happen.
I don't know. Why does Trump and the U.S. want to even get involved with the building of this? A lot of people don't like this plan, and I'm sure that a lot of the Palestinians aren't going to like having to leave their homeland permanently and not be allowed to come back. They're not going to like that the U.S. is going to own this land. Why is the U.S. going to continue giving billions of dollars to all these other countries? None of this plan sounds good to me. You guys can let me know your thoughts on that. We should just stay out of all of that building and the U.S. trying to own that land. I don't think it sounds good for any of us. It surely doesn't sound like the U.S., United States first plan. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It just doesn't sound like a good plan to us. To me, let me know your thoughts. This comes as Hamas suspends hostage releases. Israel says military now on its highest alert. So they have now suspended the deal. But Hamas says the door remains open for hostage prisoner swap report. Hamas is now being quoted as saying the door remains open to the next exchange on Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners due to take place for next Saturday. In a follow-up statement reported by the AFP news agency, Hamas said it intentionally made this announcement 5 days before the scheduled prisoner handover, allowing mediators ample time to pressure the Israeli occupation towards fulfilling its obligations. Quote, earlier, when announced it would suspend future releases, Hamas said that the move was down to Israel violating the ceasefire agreement, including delaying the return of displaced persons to northern Gaza, which again would go completely against Donald Trump's proposed plan, targeting them with shelling and gunfire in various areas of the Strip, and failing to allow the entry of humanitarian aid in all its agreed form. Israel has not responded to the latest remarks, but said earlier that it was prepared for any possible scenario in Gaza, which just shows that, especially when it comes to President Donald Trump, these situations there in the Middle East, and when it comes to Russia, at the Russia-Ukraine war, these scenarios are way more complex than you think. Remember, Trump said that he would end the Russia war on day one or even before day one. Obviously, that hasn't happened. These situations are way more complex than you can realize. So this is just the reality of things. I just knew that Trump couldn't end the Russia-Ukraine war on day one, and here we are. Putin's just dug his heels in. I just knew that. I've been watching Putin for years now. I mean, this is just how it is. I mean, we hope that we can get him to find some agreement, but I mean, the reality of it is that Putin wants part of Ukraine to end the war. Ukraine doesn't want to give up part of Ukraine to end the war, because they know that that territory that they would have to give up, they're going to have to give up all those people and give them to Russia, and Russia's going to take those people and put them into their army, and they're going to be slaughtered. They're going to just be fodder for the Russian army at some point later on. Russia's already doing this at some degree too. So it's not as easy as some people think. It's a very complex situation, and a lot of people are losing their lives. And Trump says the U.S. might lose patience with the ceasefire deal. I mean, yeah, for sure. This stuff has been going on for a while, but the question is, well, what do you do, right? Trump administration uses an executive order banning transgender participation in women's sports is just the start. Those state laws ultimately have to give ground to Title IX. I think this was a very good move by President Donald Trump. That gymnast touts Trump's no men in women's sports executive order is a huge moment. I think that this was a very, very great thing. I don't even think that there's a lot of people that disagree with this. But there's people that are just claiming to be women when they're actually men. And, Trump gave a speech, where he showed some of these, women that are men that just completely obliterated all the other competition. If you're born a man, you shouldn't be competing against women in sports. That's just the way it should be. I mean, let me know your thoughts. So also comes here as Trump takes aim at wasteful government spending by ordering ending to the penny production. They will no longer be producing pennies, saying that every penny they produce actually costs up to 3 cents to produce every penny. So, yeah, it actually costs a lot of money for the U.S. government. It costs 3 cents to produce every penny. And the latest U.S. Mint report suggests the nickel might have to watch its back too, because each 5-cent piece costs the Mint 13.78 cents to make as well. Wow. Trump to impose 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum. And there's going to likely be even more tariffs coming across the board, potentially for all countries coming here soon. So our tariffs are a good thing. as they're set to raise prices here in the U.S. For tariffs for steel and aluminum coming into the United States. Will this raise the price on steel and aluminum for anything that needs to have that produced? Yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. Yeah, so I'll keep you up to date on all this stuff and more. Don't forget to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on future updates, and click the bell icon after subscribing. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with anybody that needs to hear this information. Click here to see the new Social Security bill to raise Social Security benefits in this video. Thanks for watching.